in this forum, as well as my fellow candidates. I have always had a vested interest in our schools, and I am passionate about serving the Norwalk community and its children. As stated earlier, I'm a strong advocate for open communication, transparency, and accountability. My passion for children, parental involvement, and community engagement gives me a unique insight into a diverse community. As a proven community leader and strong advocate for all children and parents, I've always advocated for parents who take an active role in their children's education. I believe everyone has a voice and it should be heard. My collaborative, bipartisan, open, and inclusive style will allow me to successfully work with parents and groups to determine solutions to difficult situations. I will strongly support collaboration among the key stakeholders, staff, teachers, administration, parents, students, and the community, and will continue to work to bring groups together to achieve the ultimate goal of every child receiving a good quality education. I will support the projects and curriculums that are in the best interest of Norwalk's children. I will be a person at that table who will value your children and your opinions, a person who will always listen to you. I will always have an open door policy and will be accessible to all. In conclusion, I will be open and inclusive, will always listen, strong advocate for accountability, and put your children first. I will be honored to be on the board and look forward to supporting your children. I ask for your support and vote on November 5th to serve our students and community. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Roman?
Thank you again, everyone. The first thing that I would like to say is that yesterday I had the fortunate opportunity to attend Dr. Jassie's dedication of the Global Studies. And the reason why I bring that up is because I felt that it was an important event for the community as well as the students. And I can tell you this much, that I know there was a lot of deliberation in the Board of Education, and yesterday only 3 Board of Education members attended. Rosa Murray, my running mate Steve, and Artie. So, if we're sitting here thinking that the Board of Education needs to be part of the community and it needs to be at the forefront, then I think they need to take a vested interest in everything that's done. As far as for me being elected, I'm a probation officer. I deal with conflict on a daily basis. I know how to bring compromise to the table, to bring different teams, different organizations, different people to the table, talk, deliberate, and compromise. We can't draw a line on the sand and expect one side to give and the other side not to give. Because ultimately, who pays? Our students, our children, our taxpayers. If you want a politician, please do not vote for me come November 5th. If you want a concerned parent, if you want someone who's going to fight for the community, who's going to give and listen to every single person, to the taxpayers, and ensure that our students' interest is in mind, then come November 5th, vote for me and Steve, Row D, for a better BOE. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Williams?
Hello. So, I believe I bring a different perspective to the board. I also have very strong corporate management experience, done a lot of acquisition integration where working in the company where we were acquiring firms. I also spent a lot of time leading a business process outsourcing organization, so I know a lot about implementation. The reason I say that is because I'm going to show you some flaws that's causing some issues in the Norwalk school system also. I hear everyone speaking about the budgeting process, but a flaw that we have is that we're working on a budget without a plan. So before we can even get to the budget, the Board of Education needs to start developing clear goals and objectives, measurable goals and objectives, and develop a strategy, and then use that to develop a budget. This way we would know, you can start setting priorities and decide what you would cut. Also heard Lauren speak about different funding sources. We could start looking at what we need and look for the different funding sources that could help us. And above all, we really need to work with the state. I have done some research and planning for this and looked at comparable cities, and you would be surprised. There are cities or small towns with comparable population of Norwalk, 85,000 residents, 10,000 students, I targeted one where the number of students or the percentage of students that receive reduced lunch was only 18%, yet they receive 300% more than Norwalk does from the state. While we receive about 15 million, they receive over 55 million. The initiative needs to focus on addressing that. And also, I would create a solution with the Norwalk public school system of better implementation. When I look at what we're doing with the Common Core system, we're doing a poor job. We need to provide the teachers with better training, better support services, and better resources to be able to be successful with the implementation. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kassimiss?
We have come a long way from 2 years ago. We were told we had a $4 million deficit. We worked to close the gap by implementing the recommendations of the financial audit, hiring a CFO in addition to a great COO. This led to the implementation of detailed monthly reports and the careful tracking of expenses and cost controls. At the end of the first fiscal year of implementation of these improvements, we went from a $4 million deficit to a $1.6 million surplus. If re-elected, I will continue to support these recommendations and keep our financial house in order. I served on a superintendent search committee that worked with key members of the Norwalk community. We conducted the most extensive public outreach process in the history of such searches in Norwalk. We focused on getting the best superintendent we could, and we picked Dr. Manuel Rivera. I will continue my commitment to supporting him, as I have already proven over the past several months, having supported his reorganization plan for the central office. 2 years ago, some in the community were calling for the closing of Briggs. We refused to close it. I supported applying for the status of a state turnaround school, and we recently won a major state grant and hired a contractor to work with the excellent principal at Briggs, Ms. Marie Allen, to turn the school into a major resource for students who need an alternative education. As a member of the Norwalk Facilities Committee, we are now moving forward for a much-needed addition to Rowayton and Aramaic School. My commitment is to see this project through to the end. As I mentioned earlier, school safety is a top priority for me. Having my 2 daughters still in school brings us very close to home. I pledge my continued support of the city's police and fire departments to ensure that all security measures are being followed so that every student can learn and every staff member can work in a safe and secure environment. In closing, I have a clear track record over the last 2.5 years of producing results that were needed to move our school forward. We are finally headed in the right direction, and I ask for your vote. My name is Artie Kassimiss. Thank you.